This morning's message would, and this is just going to be really just a brief overview. Nigel and I are going to be talking about it during Faith Talks. It's called A Cocktail for a Healthy Whole Soul. I use the words cocktail because, like, oh my gosh, is he promoting alcohol? Well, alcohol in moderation is okay. It definitely is not the answer to our problems. Anyway.
Well, should I have a cocktail when I'm struggling with acid reflux?
No.
It sounded like it.
Well, by the way, acid reflux, by the way, which is something you've been struggling with recently, Nigel, is what kind of got me started with this thing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I stumbled into Psalms, I believe I'm not looking at my notes right now, 147, and David talking about how he was going through kind of a hard time and how his soul was thirsty for God. And David knew how to have a healthy, whole soul. And the cocktail part came in because a few years ago I had massive, massive heartburn from some pineapple I had at a friend's house. I ate it way too late, had way too much. And when I went to the ER, the doctor said, I've got a cocktail. It's really going to help you with that, you know? And he said, I'll send it over to the pharmacy. And lo and behold, it worked, and it worked pretty fast. Next day, I actually went to the emergency room to the next evening, to pray or support somebody here at our church. And the doctor was there, and he was like, oh, my goodness sakes, you're doing better. I said, man, your cocktail worked. So David has kind of this little cocktail, I guess, of the Bible, right, for how to get encouraged and how to have a healthy, whole soul. You know, the first one I talked about, maybe we can get into this a little bit, Nigel, was to remember the great things that God has done in our past that kind of help us to deal with, you know, sometimes the way to deal with discouragement in our present is to look back at the accomplishments and the victories that God had for us yesterday.
Right.
You know, it gives us strength to know, you know, back then I wasn't sure what was going on. Here I am feeling that way again, but he came through before. I'm sure he's going to come through again. For you, a big one was dealing with cancer as a young boy. I mean, how old were you when you had cancer?
12, 13.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, just normal life for a 12 or 13-year-old is hard enough.
Yeah, just turning to junior high school.
Oh, school, relationships, and now you're dealing with cancer on top of that.
Yeah.
And God healed you from that, you know. That's something that I think that that you can kind of go back to. I think of things in my life where that I can go back to, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, look how God worked that out, you know. And I think that, you know, sometimes a lot of times, thoughts kind of randomly move through our brains. And sometimes we're not real purposeful with our thoughts. Sometimes we are. It's like, okay, how do I change my flat tire? I got a flat tire, and I'm not saying I'm going to because I don't want one, but, you know, that's kind of a purposeful thought. Or, hey, somebody's walking here. I need to open up the door for this person to be nice. There's some thoughts that we have that, you know, are planned out thoughts, but some thoughts are just random, and we follow these thoughts all over the place. But what if we were purposeful with some of our thoughts to help our souls to be healthy and whole? Because sometimes our souls get tired. You know, it's like, and it's a different kind of tired than, oh, I'm tired because I didn't sleep much last night. Or I'm tired because my body went through pretty heavy workout a couple hours ago. Sometimes there's a soul, spiritual, I'm just so tired that almost feels like if I do another thing, I feel like I'm going to get kicked in the gut. I feel like I'm getting kicked in the gut. Another thing just is overwhelming me. And God doesn't want us to live like that. And the scripture we used the week before was, my burden is easy and my yoke is light. We're not focusing on that scripture, although that's an important scripture. We're going to be talking about, especially in Faith Talks, coming up at 7 o'clock, for a cocktail for your healthy whole soul. So Nigel and I are going to be discussing that, and it's going to be fun. Speaking of discussion, you've got a top 10 coming up.